One more minute.
Hey, how's it going over there?
Welcome everyone. May 21st, 2024 to our Board of Commissioners meeting for Washington County. We welcome those who are here for agenda items or just visiting, and of course we have a few recognitions that we'd like to give out today as well. We are on Zoom as well, and I believe our county's Facebook. So welcome everyone and enjoy the meeting. First, we'd like to begin with an invocation by Larry B. Shirtliff of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, who's part of the Interfaith Council. And as we were talking, they do the invocations in many official municipal government meetings, and we just happen to be lucky to get you today. So thank you for being here.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next, we would like to have our Pledge of Allegiance led by Commander James Schaefer of the American Legion Post 90. We also might as well recognize, and it comes up in our agenda, that we're starting to consider this our 250th year coming up. Not this year, but in 2 years from now. But we want to get started on supporting our partners, United We Pledge, and the state in looking forward to what makes us a great nation and that great celebration of 250 years. So with that, Commander, if you would lead us.
If you're able to rise, please do so. And if any veterans are here, you can give your best salute, please do so. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Constable.
Thank you, and best to your post.
Thank you.
You know, it used to be that I would come in a suit and tie and everything, and so I got chided so much for being overdressed. Now the tide is changing. We have Commissioner Iverson, who's ready for any ecclesiastical duty as well, and Adam is pretty consistent.
I am an even keel rudder. I never wear a tie and always wear a coat. So,
And I have 2 ties hanging up in my office, so I'll have to reconsider that chiding.
doesn't it
earlier.
feel good though? No tie? It feels good.
Mr. Chairman,
It's okay.
I will say that it is going to be June, July, and August. I will not be wearing a tie.
Yes.
Wuss.
Well, and I witnessed Mayor MacArthur, if you wore, Johnny's back there, he'll remember, that if you wore a tie to a city council meeting, either as a presenter or a council member, and it was over 100 outside in the day, he'd come down and cut your tie off. And I saw that happen many times. I don't know if there were any expensive ties there. I always wore a cheap one in case I forgot. Nevertheless, we're welcoming this meeting as our consent agenda on the first of the total agenda, for which Commissioner Snow has volunteered to work through that.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the consent agenda as follows. A, consideration of auditor approved claims for payment for April 17th, 2024 through May 21st, 2024. B, consideration of commission meeting minutes of April 16th, 2024. C, consideration of Ash Creek Special Service District meeting minutes of April 16th, 2024. D, consideration of commission work meeting minutes of April 24th, 2024. E, consideration of administrative adjustments of real property. F, consideration of administrative adjustments for personal property. G, consideration of applications for property tax abatement, of which there are 7. H, consideration of retirement of Sheriff's Office K-9. And I, consideration of execute notice of grant and agreement award for de-obligation of NRCS funding for an environmental impact statement for the Warner Draw and Gould's Wash drainage, so funds can be used in a future agreement. And that's my motion.
Mr. Chairman, I'll second that motion.
Motion and a second on the consent agenda. Seeing no division of the items, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Passes unanimously. Our regular agenda items for consideration are the I was thinking of, I was just looking down for that very reason. Why don't we do that? Do I have a motion to amend the agenda to address item 3?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we amend the agenda to move item 3 as number 1, given the very strong law enforcement presence we have in the room, and let them get back to their normal jobs.
I'll second that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Motion and a second for an agenda adjustment. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Yes, okay. Item number 3, a presentation, our recognition of K-9 Nero's retirement. And I think we should start every meeting with several loud barks. I thought that was great, got our attention. So who's making this presentation?
Sheriff Brooksby?
Sheriff Brooksby?
So kind of a bittersweet, it looks like we hijacked your meeting apparently. Got some fellow K-9 handlers in the county, so kind of a bittersweet, you know. So Nero is just aging out, kind of starting to have some hip problems and whatnot. So Deputy Shumway is we're gonna go ahead and retire Nero, and then they're gonna start the process, going to California in a couple weeks to start testing out new dogs. You know, they'll test 12 to 16 dogs in a day, go to several different kennels to try and find the best fit. One thing I've talked about before is, you know, our canine handlers stay with their dogs longer than their own family. They take them home with them, they bring them to work. It's just a huge commitment. So the fact that Deputy Shumway is willing to take on another dog, go through the entire post-training again, that's over 500 hours of training. He's asked to be able to keep Nero as basically a house pet. So that does a couple things for us. It keeps Nero happy, it keeps Deputy Shumway happy. And the reality is Nero is property of Washington County. So if Deputy Shumway decides that he doesn't want to keep Nero, then we have to figure out what to do with Nero, right? And it's not like there's just an auction for dogs every Saturday at 8 o'clock at the park. Some stats here for Nero. So he's been with us since 2018, so 6 years of service. That's about right for a K-9, right? Total deployments are 432, 185 arrests directly through Nero sniffing out typically drug arrests, right? And then a total of 96 pounds of narcotics, so anything from meth, heroin, fentanyl, things of that nature. So we'd like to they're going to do it's common practice if a deputy retires or a K-9 retires, we get on the radio and do what's called a a final 1042. So it's basically a retirement tribute that dispatch will do for Nero. We're going to do that here in a little bit at a little gathering after this. So, does your daughter want to speak too? Okay. I think with that, let's do a photo op.
Yeah,
We
let's do
do
a photo.
have a bunch of other handlers from other law enforcement entities. We did get a plaque to honor
Wow.
Nero's service.
Beautiful.
So all the other handlers have signed it and left some remarks. Some of them are kinder than others. So we'll just get that up here, but I'll you hold it for the photo. So any other handlers or captains who want to come up to, any law enforcement representatives that want to come up to a photo op with the commissioners and Deputy Shumway. Kind of a rough route, they clean up nice stuff. Be a big picture.
Yes, yes.
Eventually, yeah, but
Well, I think all of us, if we've watched any shows, law enforcement shows where dogs have been involved, it's quick to get the perpetrator to come in line. I sure appreciate that. Thank you, Sheriff, so much.
Such a great asset.
Yep. All right, well, we're back to our item, which we'll now title 2, a presentation on our 2023 year in review video number 7 of our series. Adam.
I've said this numerous times now, I'll say it once more. These are, instead of doing state of the county videos or speeches where we all stand up and bore people, we decided to do these in form of video, a little more engaging, a little more informational. And so this is number 7 in a series of 12, talking about what we've done in the county for the last year and just reporting back to the citizenry, major events, things that we've done and things that we're working on for this year. And so this is a big one given some of the new developments. And so this is regarding the PGA and the LPGA here in Washington County.
Can somebody let Todd in? Sergeant Cashin, can you let Todd Edwards in? For some reason, our
2024 is going to be a monumental year for Washington County in regards to golf. We're hosting both the PGA and the LPGA tournament at the Black Desert Resort in Ivins. This is a brand new resort, a brand new golf course with stunning views, an amazing course. It was the last one designed by Tom Weiskopf. And Greater Zion, which is the tourism and convention department of Washington County, is the presenting sponsor for both the PGA and the LPGA events. This is a huge deal for Utah. The PGA was last here 60 years ago in Utah and has never been in Washington County before. So the fact that we're having both of these next year is monumental for golf and tourism in Washington County.
It's fun to think that in the 1960s, St. George City Council, along with members of the Chamber of Commerce, in order to help tourists stop and spend a little more time here in our community, decided to invest in a small 9-hole golf course at the end of Bluff, Red Hills. That golf course is still one of our best. We've added to it many other great golf courses that highlight the beautiful landscape. Of course, now to go from there to hosting the PGA tournament of Black Desert really has shown how far our community has come. You know, we're used to celebrating big events and hosting big events, World Ironman, World Championships, but this is going to be one of the biggest we've ever hosted. It's also going to have very positive economic benefit to our community and our surrounding area. It's going to really highlight our beautiful landscapes as people from around the world come here to celebrate on this beautiful course. And it's been built by Patrick Manning, and a great citizen here in our community. I look forward to being a part of this celebration of PGA in Washington County, first time ever.
Well, we're talking about golf. Whenever my son and two son-in-laws come to town, they want to force him, and they kind of look at me with like, why invite him? Because he's not a golfer. But I can tell you, when they do let me go with them, I appreciate the many golf courses in our area and the challenges that they present any golfer. Professional golfers, as well as amateur golfers, and those that enjoy the pure recreation of it, often talk about the St. George area, Washington County, as one of their premier destinations to come and golf. These two events coming, the LPGA and the PGA, are historic moments when others who will come and discover us for the first time. Again, thanks to Black Desert, Patrick Manning, his team, their vision. We're certainly welcoming those who will come to Washington County for these great events.
Both of these tournaments coming to Washington County are a huge boon for our economy. We rely heavily on tourism in Washington County. Our largest economic driver is Zion National Park by far. So we want to diversify away and continue to bring tourists here without just relying on one or two major resources. These tournaments provide those additional attractions for people to come here and really put us on the map, both Washington County and the state of Utah, to gain that attention as a golf destination. Now, some people may say, man, we've got enough tourists, and we do have a lot, millions a year. But we also get a lot of benefit off of those tourists. Many things that are paid for by taxes from tourists, heads and beds or transient room tax, but also about a third of our sales tax is paid by tourists in our stores and grocers. And so much of the benefit that our citizens get is actually paid for by tourists. And so we want these events. We want them to come, diversify and dilute the impact across the county rather than just a couple of significant areas. And so these tournaments coming here to Washington County increases tourism. It also increases local growth. It increases our ability to provide the services without burdening our residents in the future.
As Black Desert hosts the PGA and the LPGA, and we host all of their family and friends as they come to our community, this really is a reason to celebrate. And this is historic in our county's history. But it also won't be the first time that we've been on the world stage hosting great people that come to our community. And that's what makes Washington County so great. The citizens like you who are polite and kind to others, welcoming them in. Over and over again, Washington County gets great feedback, not just for our scenic landscapes and our majestic beauty, but for the kindness of our citizens. And we look forward to PGA and LPGA being a positive impact as once again, Washington County in the years to come take the world stage in hosting this world-class event.
Well, our thanks to those who put this together for us, as well as our efforts through Greater Zion, which is our tourism arm, and have done such a great job in these events as well as others. Wonderful. All right, our next item on the agenda, we'd like to recognize for their years of service. We have one agenda item for a planning commissioner who is retiring, but I don't see him here. So we're going to wait on that one, but we'll skip to agenda item number 4 and ask Andy, if he's not here, but for Seth Baker of 20 years with the county to come up. Is someone going to introduce you? Chi, are you going to come up and tell great things about Seth, please?
Let's celebrate Seth.
Yeah, come on up. Come on up.
our junior sysadmin, and he's been with us for 20 years now, involved in many projects. And one thing about Seth is Seth actually worked his way up from the very base level employee. I remember both of us started together as a tech, and he's worked himself all the way up to this position, and he's such a great asset to all of us. And he's a really good team player, and that's something I think everybody could really strive to be. And I think we should all just recognize him for his length of service. Thanks, Seth.
Great.
Wait, they all left back to the nerdery.
I think, the citizens of Washington County need to know how much the IT department in Washington County, I honestly think they keep us efficient, and they save a ton of money when you think about the functions of government and just how we have this great group of IT. Just what happens when your computer goes down? Everybody notices, but as long as it's working well, and they do a great job with our servers and with keeping us safe. We haven't had knock on wood, we have had no breach in security, and they just do a great job. So, but they all left, and I should have said that before
while they were
left.
here.
Yeah.
Well, the number of attempted, breaches or
Yeah.
security scares per day is amazing of what they divert and catch. And, the design of this building was to give as many employees a window and light. And when you go into IT, not only do they have the coolest decorated cubicles and everything, but they put the shades down and turn the lights out. And so it's like, whoa, wait, we could have put them in the basement and they would have been happy. But it is a fun group, and we sure appreciate their service. So way to go, Seth. Next, a presentation from Susie on our Washington County Fair. Welcome. Aloha.
And I think I'm still recovering. There's no better way to do a presentation than through pictures. So I'm just going to quickly go through some pictures that I have really quick. This was the second year that we were able to get Miss Rodeo America, Emma Cameron. This year she's from New Mexico. We are the very first outdoor rodeo for her, for Miss Rodeo America. So it gives her a really good springboard before she goes and hits up the big, Calgary Stampede and the ones in San Antonio. So she was absolutely amazing. She's a darling girl, and we're very thankful for her. Again, our rodeo was Friday and Saturday night of the Washington County Fair, April 12th and 13th. We contract out with Circle J, and some of our numbers, you can just quickly see that every year since we've started the rodeo, which happened coincidentally when we moved the county fair from August to April, our numbers every year continually grow. As you can see, our Saturday this year, 2709 was how many tickets and how many people were there in the audience. So it's one of our, I think, becoming one of our more favorite events at the county fair. New this year was mutton busting. We had 10 little kids. I only put that picture up because that's my nephew. He didn't do very well.
He didn't make it very far out of the chute.
He didn't make it very far. but he got a ribbon and he had a good time. And he put his helmet on the wrong way, so that's probably why he didn't do very well in the mutton busting. Always a really fun event. We brought back our 4th grade field trips. We didn't do them last year, and then we brought them back this year with the help of some of our local community partners, including Alan at the library. Ammon down at the HCP came with some animals. And then we had Fisher Family Farms, Payne Fisher, who came and talked about soil and production, as well as our local extension office. Some new attractions we had this year included our racing pigs that were in our indoor arena, our lumberjack show, that they did 3 shows a day for 8 days there at the county fair. We also had some new faces. We had our hula hoop girl who performed every day for 30 minutes or so every couple hours. We had some great entertainment this year, some Hispanic and Aztec dancers. And then some of our old friends, the lawn darts, the mad scientist is always he is a one to always not miss. And then of course our skate ramp folks from Omega Ramps. They set up this half-pipe skate ramp right in front of the Harmony building and had professional skateboarders as well as opened it up to the public. You can see somebody helping a little girl right there learning how to skateboard. Boom, the percussion group is one of our favorites. They've been with us a couple of years, as well as our animal stilt walkers. I still don't know how they walk on those stilts, but amazing. We added 2 extra concerts this year. We had Tracy Bird right there in the middle on the bottom, E.M. Tongi, American Idol winner from 2023, and then the Eli Young Band on Friday. All 3 events had about 2,000 to 2,400 people at each event. Some new beginnings this year. We had 2 different proposals at the Derby. Never had engagements at the Derby. We probably had some fights, but never had proposals.
Well, Susie, on that, because I was there and I watched it. And I thought it was cool, the first one. Did they know that each other were going to propose that night?
No.
Like, did the second guy go like, well, now my thunder's
now
taken,
I've
how am
gotta
I
do
supposed
it.
to do this?
No, neither knew that they were doing it. The second guy actually had planned and had a poster, was very thought out. I missed the first one, but yeah, neither of them knew they were doing that. So again, never had that happen before at the county fair. That was kind of fun.
You should start to charge.
We should start a
If
charge.
you want to propose in front of 4,000 people, you have to.
Yeah, but then I'd have to pay taxes on it.
It's funny that you follow the proposals with this picture.
Yeah, you know.
Yep.
That was for you, Commissioner Almquist.
Thank you.
Some other new events we had this year included team roping, we did breakaway, and we did sorting. All those events were on each different nights
Great
of the
pictures.
county fair there. This one is from team sorting. We also added an FFA scholarship where we provided scholarship to 5 different students here at our local schools with Washington County School District. Just some quick numbers. We had 50 animals at the petting zoo, 84 baby entries, 1,067 4th grade children, which resulted in 1,225 Chick-fil-A lunches that we provided for all those students. And then we also provided sandwiches, 350 of them to our different rodeo contestants. We had 86 parade entries, which was 30 more than we had last year. 36 city princesses, 82 patrol officers from the Washington County Sheriff's Office. That does not include any of the other ones. And many of them that were here today come out to the county fair. So St. George Police, Ivan, Santa Clara, Washington City, doesn't include any of those numbers. And we had 1 mullet competition at the Demolition Derby, which was new this year. We had over 40 live entertainers on 3 different stages, 18 food vendors, with 53 retail vendors in our Grafton building, and more than 15,000 tickets sold through all of our events, from the Derby to our concerts to the rodeo and boxing. And then just wanted to end with some pictures. We had an amazing military tribute. Coy Bryant gave our keynote address here from our emergency services on that military service day that night. And then we had 4-H did pony rides. I don't know if the little boy in the blue helmet was thrilled or not, but the dad seemed to be pretty happy that he was on a horse. Always one of our favorites is our special needs rodeo on Saturday morning, and I just wanted to highlight, and I wish some of these officers and deputies were here. It's just an amazing event. You can see the smiles on these kids or these people. And we have so many law enforcement, including ambulance and fire. SWAT came this year, animal rescue was there. It's just one of our favorite events. And then, of course, we ended the week with our demolition derby this year, completely sold out with 4,666 in our stands. That does not include anybody in our VIP or our pit entrance. That's our mullet competition. You can see some of the mullets. I don't know which one won. They all look like winners to me. Those are amazing mullets. I wanted to highlight our Miss Hurricane. She's also one of our boxers from Southern Utah Boxing Club and boxed Saturday night at the fair. Not in her gown or tiara and sash, but
That would have been awesome.
it wouldn't be amazing. She's also Carla
so
DeMille's
cool.
daughter. So Carla, who works down in the treasurer's office, this is her daughter. So just wanted to highlight her. I thought it was really cool. They did this little shoot. And then just the smiles. This is McCarty Kelly. She's Miss Rodeo Utah. She's come several years to be there. And of course, we couldn't do the county fair without an amazing committee of people who volunteer their time to have a county fair in April when everyone's really busy. So huge thanks to our law enforcement, huge thanks to our county, especially some of the different departments that help us. You talk about IT, and IT helps us when we're doing intake, treasurer's office, the attorney's office, everyone. So I think a very successful fair. I was gonna put in there one of the numbers, but Kraus can tell you about that story, about what he found under a light plant. But I'll keep you posted. It was a very, very fun. We always have a really fun story at the county fair, and this was it. I've already teased you. We found a severed finger at the county fair. I know, ooh, right? Ooh. They were moving a light plant. Some people were moving a light plant, correct? And I asked for photo proof, so he does have photo proof. They were moving a light plant, severed a finger. I think they were trying to park there instead. Just pay the $2 and park, everybody. Just pay. Don't move a light plant because they're there for a reason. They moved the light plant, severed the finger. The deputies found the light plant down on the ground, so being the good citizens that they are, they went and put it back up and found blood on the ground and a finger. And the guy came later, the friends came and picked up the finger, and the gentleman drove himself to the emergency room. I don't know the outcome, nor do we, so never a dull moment at the county fair, a little behind the scenes story, but there you have it. Photo proof from Kraus if you'd like.
There's
Well,
so
we'll
many
find
things I want to say, but I'm not going to right now. That
Yeah.
Just
Don't put that in next year's
maybe not in the brochure.
brochure.
No.
yeah.
Again, I don't have the photo proof, just Kraus, but I did ask for it because I didn't believe him.
Oh my gosh.
So thank you, commissioners. Like I said, it really was a
Great
great
fair.
turnout, we thought.
Thank you for your
Appreciate
hard
it.
work.
Thank you, Susie, and your whole team.
All right, appreciate that. Our emergency services report, is that you, Sergeant Cashin? We've been asked that you not go into every single one of them, so, but highlight it for us and give us the totals.
I don't know.
You've been
I'm gonna
busy.
Follow the fair thing.
How do you follow the fair? Well,
Have you found any severed
Have you found
fingers
anything bigger
lately?
than a finger?
No,
Well, that's good.
not in this report. Okay, since last report, we've had 15 search and rescues, 454 man hours, so we're at 43 for the year. We're starting to pick up a little bit
ramp
now.
up, yeah.
Had 3 in-county residents, 5 out-of-county Utah residents, and 10 out of Utah, and 1 international. So we're seeing a lot more people from the outside of the state coming in. Just real quick, we had an injured hiker in Hellhole Canyon over by Red Mountain. Broken ankle on that. Injured mountain biker on Gooseberry Mesa. Apparently that gentleman, he crashed, and we did call DPS to get him out of where he was at. So that one went fairly well. We had a injured hiker in the subway, female by herself had broken her arm in the middle of the night. So we were called on that and went in and got her out.
How did Did she have a permit? Did the Park Service know she was there? I mean, why was she there in the middle of the night?
I got a call from dispatch, woke me up at 12:45 in the morning, saying we had a female by herself with a broken arm right at the exit of the subway.
Oh, okay.
And I said, okay, we'll take care of it. And that was the,
Okay.
I don't know if
No
the, what
more
department
questions.
knew. We just went and took care of it. So, UTV accident at Sand Mountain on the 20th, 23rd was a rolled vehicle at Tokerville Falls. That young lady actually was lucky. She had only minor scrapes and bruises. UTV accident on the 25th on Sand Mountain. Lost hikers on Babylon Arch. That's one where people just didn't, you know, they need to make sure they're prepared when they go and have plenty of water. We're hitting that time of year. 29th UTV accident at Sand Mountain. 30th, we had an ill mountain biker on Bear Claw Poppy. On the 4th, stranded tubers in the Virgin River. You'll notice we have a couple of those, so it's that time of year people are tubing down the river. We did have a drowning at Sand Hollow on the 4th. 18-year-old young man from Vegas. Overdue hikers on the 12th in Water Canyon. We went and got a stranded hiker in Cedar Pockets for Mojave County on the 13th. Again on the 13th, we had 2 lost hikers up on Eagles Crag on the, I guess that's the west side of Canaan Mountain. And DPS helped us with that one. And then again, we had overdue people tubing down the Virgin River that we went out and located, and they were fine. Any questions on any of this?
A lot of hours. Please tell your whole team and volunteers, thank you.
I will do so.
Yeah,
Can we just say right now, public service announcement, this is insufficient as it gets warm for an entire day of hiking.
Okay, I know you wanted me to be short, but yesterday one of my backcountry deputies got a lady that was severely dehydrated on the trail. And between the 4 people on there, they had 2 bottles of water. So please take water.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Very good. Well, we appreciate their efforts. Our next item is 7, consideration of purchase requests. Ray. Thanks, Sergeant.
Okay. Normally we would do the ratifications separately, but they got lumped together, so I'll do those real quick first. And I don't know if you want me to pause or if you'd like me to keep going.
That'll
Oh,
be
keep
good.
it going. We'll do it
Just
all
do it?
together. Yeah.
Okay. The first one is a ratification. This is for some furniture for the CJC expansion. We were trying to get it in there before the open house, for the ribbon cutting and open house. And this was a total of $46,205. And the contractor provided tables, delivery, install, and design assistance free of charge for them. And the state is also to reimburse with a one-time appropriations funding. The next one is for the lumberjack show at the fair. This got missed with all the other entertainment, and we needed to get them paid right away. This was a total of $12,000. That was the 2 ratifications. And to the purchase requisitions, this first couple are for emergency services. This first one is for 11 ballistic helmets. These are grant funded, and a total of $14,710.77. These are for the SWAT team. They're regional assets and will be distributed as needed. The next one is for 3 tandem axle burn trailers. This includes toolboxes, spare tire mounts, and they gave us a pretty good discount for a total of $132,088.95. These burn trailers, they're mostly used for ammo demolition.
Are these regional assets or?
These ones, yes.
Jason's
Yes, these
nodding
ones are.
yes back there.
Yeah, these are,
Okay.
these are for, the 3 burn trailers are for the bomb squad.
Okay.
They'll be distributed throughout the state. The next one is for the fair. This was some hotel rooms for entertainment and anything else that needed a hotel room or anyone else. This is a total of $16,781.98. The next one is for tourism. This is for a film tour sponsorship for $20,000. The next one is for roads. This is the usual equipment fuel bill for $24,974.03. The next one is for our Council on Aging, the senior centers. This is for a new 2024 Ford F-150. This will also carry the hot and cold meals box on the truck bed for Meals on Wheels. The truck itself is $38,165. The hot cold box is for $31,015 for a total of $69,180. And Five County is gonna pay us back. We don't know if they're gonna pay this amount up front or if they're gonna reimburse us, but either way, they're gonna cover $56,972 for this. And so our portion will be $12,208.
And I think he has some money in his friend's budget as well.
Yeah, there was, he gets donations and fundraising money, and that's what that's going towards, is that $12,000. The next couple are, they're really for the whole county, but it'll be housed in the clerk auditor's office. This is for a new ERP system with Oracle, and it's for NetSuite for government. This first one will be progress billing over the next 3 years for $237,706.92 for the service contract. And then the next one is for implementation, basically time and material services and training, all that good stuff, for $301,677. And I know there's a resolution coming up later in your agenda where the clerk auditor will explain that a little bit better. The next one is for the sheriff's office. This is for the new police dog, the new canine that's coming. We're estimated that we're going to spend about $15,000. It could be a little more, a little less. We'll see what happens with the dog that they pick. The next one is also for the sheriff's office. This is for an asset management system, also known as a key box for short. It houses all their keys for their fleet and anything else they need. And the cost, and they've given us a trade-in cost. The old one, this is a replacement, the old one is no longer supported, and all the components are starting to break down due to wear and tear. This is a total of $18,674.
Long list. I was interested in the one for the police dog where it says liquor and beer expenses.
That's exactly what I was just looking at.
Yeah.
So we receive money from the state every year to go towards those types of expenses, DUI shifts, that kind of thing. And then this will pay for the new canine.
So just to clarify then, not for the public, this is not to pay for liquor and beer
Right.
for the dog. This is where the revenue is coming from that
Yes.
helps pay for the dog.
Yes.
There you go.
So don't grandma the word beer, because that'll come up. All right, well, thank you. I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we accept the purchase requests that have been presented to us, along with the ratification of that one.
And I'll second that motion.
Wonderful, ratifications and other purchases. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you, Ray.
Thanks, Ray.
Our next item, Todd is here, I believe. I saw him, yep. Item number 8, consideration of ordinance number 2024-1260-0, an ordinance amending Title 6 of the Washington County Code to address truck and other traffic on Kolob Mountain Road and the transport of live animals.
Thank you, Commissioners. We revised this just a few months ago to try to clarify some of the things up on Kolob Mountain. We kind of missed one thing, and that's the importance of transporting mostly cattle and some sheep up in that area. And so we'd like to amend it this time to allow that to take place. Most of the trailers that go up there meet our ordinance for weight anyway, but they do have a couple of semis that we previously had prohibited, and now we would allow those to go forward. They also don't have that much weight, so they're not putting that much strain on the roads either way, so.
I think it's a good thing, Mr. Chairman. Need to be able to, a lot of these guys, graze on public land and they have to be off at a certain time and by contract with the federal government, and they have, where are you going to go put a bunch of cows in the meantime? So feeding them in a feedlot would be their entire annual profit margin, which is very slim at best. So this is good that we can accommodate and continue to support agriculture in Washington County that has been a big part of our heritage and continues to be part of our lifestyle now. So I move that we approve ordinance number 2024-1260-0, amending Title VI of the Washington County Code to address truck and other traffic on Kolob Mountain Road and the transportation of live animals.
I'll second that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thanks, Todd, for working on this.
No problem, thanks.
Todd, is for the next item, 9, consideration of ordinance number 2024-1261-0, an ordinance approving the dedication and plat for the 175 East Roadway by New Harmony in Washington County, Utah.
This is a road dedication that has been initiated by the property owners up there. It's 175 East in New Harmony, and this is the part in the unincorporated area. An extension of that, there's an existing dirt road on most of it now, and so they're looking to dedicate it to the public for future development along with it. So we would recommend approval of this.
Yeah, it looks pretty straightforward. As I reviewed it, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we adopt ordinance number 2024-1261-0, an ordinance approving the dedication and plat for the 175 East Roadway by New Harmony in Washington County, Utah. So,
I second the motion.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Great. Item number 10, consideration of ordinance number 2024-1262-0, an ordinance rezoning a certain portion of Washington County located at approximately 124 South Silver Valley Road from RA-1, OSC 20, and A2 zones to the A20 zone, agricultural 20-acre minimum, with the AEO zone, agricultural state overlay, on parcel 1 and the A20 zone on parcel 2, hereinafter fully described in this ordinance. Applicants Doug and Eileen Howard.
Yes, Commissioners, as was stated, there's the parcels that are highlighted in red on the map are owned by the Howards, and they the ones that are light green with the dashed lines on it is open space transition, and then just the light green is open space conservation. With the open space conservation zone, it doesn't allow for any structures to be built on the property. And then there were several other smaller parcels that didn't meet the minimum lot size requirements in the zone. And so in working with the property owner and what they're wanting to do with the property, the lots have been, all those different parcels have been combined and proposing to do a zone change. Go back one. Yeah, right there. So the area that's in green will be rezoned to A20, and then the area that's in the pinkish color will be the Ag Estate Overlay Zone. This was a zone that the county created about a year ago, and it allows for exactly what it is, ag estates. There's people that have desires to build barns, maybe have stable hands living in the barn, taking care of the livestock or the horses, and buildings that wouldn't normally be allowed in a residential zone. And so the Ag Estate Overlay allows for some of those exceptions, but in return gives the county some assurance that it's not going to be, a big ugly palace, that there's some aesthetics tied to it. And so the Planning Commission held the required public hearing on this zone change request, and they unanimously recommended approval of it to the County Commission.
Okay. Any questions?
I would just say that that's a very strange property line. I'm used to seeing,
Yeah,
but I do know the property and it makes sense if they were drawing property lines up on the hill behind them, so,
yeah, it really cleans things up by combining all those parcels.
yeah, very good.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve ordinance number 2024-1262, rezoning a certain portion of Washington County located approximately 124 South Silver Valley Road from the RA1, OSC 20, and A20 zones to the A20 zone with the AEO zone, which is agricultural estate overlay, on parcel 1 and the A20 zone on parcel 2, hereinafter fully described in the ordinance.
I'll second that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Motion and a second. Thank you for working with the landowners there.
Yes.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Our next item, 11, consideration of resolution number R 2024-3301, a resolution appointing a Washington County Planning Commissioner, Brian Simonson, term ending January 31, 2026. Scott, is Brian here?
Brian is not. Earlier on the agenda, we were going to be recognizing Frank Luke, who has served not just Washington County, but our country very diligently and served in a great deal of time in the military. And Frank is, due to health reasons, has resigned his position on the Planning Commission. We are going to greatly miss him. When he was on the Planning Commission for a little while and he was kind of quiet, and when he was appointed as the chair to act as the chair for a year, and he took that job very seriously, and he attended a bunch of he started attending JUD meetings, he started coming to any trainings that were available. He took his job very seriously, and it was wonderful to have his insight and his knowledge on the board. And so with his resignation, we need to fill that position. Brian Simonson previously served on the Planning Commission a couple of years ago. His time on the Planning Commission was cut short due to a transfer with job, and so he needed to relocate. He has moved back to the county and lives in the New Harmony area, and he was an excellent member of the Planning Commission, and recommend that he fill Frank's position and term.
Well, it would be good to get a board member from the New Harmony
Yeah.
Valley. I mean, because we've had them in the past, but I think we haven't.
Yeah, it's
had
been a
one
little
for
while.
A little while, and it's kind of important, so that's good. Well, with that, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we adopt resolution R-2024-3301, a resolution appointing a board member to the Washington County Planning Commission, Brian Simonson.
And I'll second that motion.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Welcome, Brian, and make sure we know when he's first here. We'll recognize him again. Item 12, consideration of resolution number R 2024-3302, resolution approving an amendment to the agreement between Washington County and Bone, Collins and Associates Incorporated for the Warner Draw Watershed Environmental Assessment Project, expanding the scope of services for additional construction period services based on the results of the design analysis.
So this is one that Washington County is administering for Hurricane City and also the state of Utah. It's rehabilitation of a dam. We recently approved the bid for it, or Hurricane City did. They did a bid for about $6 million. This is for the construction management during that process. It expanded a little bit from a previous proposal they gave to us that we'd approved, and so we want to look at approving this one. They found a few more problems with the dam and expanded the scope on it, and so it's going to take about 10 months now to rehabilitate and rebuild. So we'd like to ask for your approval, no cost to the county. It's been paid for by NRCS primarily, and then Hurricane City a little bit, and state dam safety, a pretty good chunk of it also.
Wonderful. Okay, very good.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve Resolution R 2024-3302, approving an amendment to the agreement between Washington County and Bowen Collins and Associates for the Warner Draw Watershed Environmental Assessment Project, expanding the scope of services for additional construction period services based on the results of the design analysis.
I'll second that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Why is it that the ones I have to move to approve are always like 5 lines long and Victor's is 1?
Yeah, well, by design.
Unfair.
Hey, it looks like,
Your next
Next
one.
on the big
yeah,
one.
but we're just going to approve item 13. Or vote on item 13.
All right, item 13, consideration of resolution number R 2024-3303, a resolution accepting the State of Utah Master Agreement and participating addendum and the related Oracle America Incorporated Professional Service Agreement and the Oracle NetSuite for Government Cloud Service Agreement, providing the county enterprise resource planning software and cloud services. A lot of words, Ryan.
Now, maybe before you go, Ryan, because I know what this resolution's about, but Devin, who writes these titles?
I don't think that's important, commissioners. I think what's important is we have our elected clerk auditor here with us. We could shorten these. I think that's a fair criticism, commissioners.
We appreciate the legal department's help on all these, so. Anyways, this is a resolution involved regarding the ERP software, and that, like it spells out here, is the Enterprise Resource Planning. It's a computer, an ERP is essentially software that you can bring a lot of things under one roof: our accounting, our finance, our budgeting, our fixed assets, payroll, HR. We do have a current ERP system. It's aged. It's probably nearly 20 years old, and it's served us well, but it's kind of time to move into the future. We're outgrown it. The reporting capabilities are just not what they need to be, and our current vendor hasn't been the best at customer service lately, so it was kind of time to start looking at different solutions. Our Chief Deputy Auditor, Luke Peck, and I have spent a lot of time talking to people essentially all over the country. We've attended a lot of meetings. We've invited other departments that would be affected if we moved systems to have them look at some of the potential vendors that we would go with. So we didn't want to just make this decision on our own. It just so happens that the City of Washington is going to this Oracle NetSuite solution as well. They're in their implementation phase. I've done a couple software implementations. They're not fun. They usually are worth it in the end. So it's, even though we're excited about moving to something new and cloud-based and more secure, it's still a lot of work on the horizon. But anyhow, we've heard a lot of great things about Oracle NetSuite, especially the implementation and the customer service, and that's a big deal, that someone will pick up the phone or respond to an email promptly when we're having some issues. So, do you have any questions about?
Well, you've answered them, Ryan, and I mean, hats off to you and Luke for looking at this. We really rely on these types of systems, and it'll take about, what did you say, 2 years to fully implement it? It'll be a couple of years.
They're thinking that they'll be able to get us live on the finance piece, the accounting portion, January 1st. It may, that's our goal. And then we would roll out the budgeting and payroll next in HR.
So you'll do this coming budget in our old system and roll it over?
Yeah.
Great. It's going to be great. Well, it was...
You want Adam to read it?
No, I'll go ahead. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we adopt this fine resolution, which is Resolution R-2024-3303, a resolution accepting the State of Utah's Master Agreement and participating addendum in the related Oracle America Inc. Professional Service Agreement and the Oracle NetSuite for Government Cloud Services Agreement, providing the county enterprise resource planning ERP software and cloud services. I'm definitely going to have to bring my glasses if I'm going to have to read a novel up here, you know. I'm sitting there hoping I don't leave words out because
Before I second that, could you read that again?
Yeah, I didn't get it either.
We
I
may have
second
missed
the
a word
motion.
there, Commissioners.
I promise.
I second the motion, Mr. Chairman.
Motion and a second. Devin says sorry. All in favor, say aye.
I
Aye.
do apologize.
Devin, don't
I think
ever
I put an
change.
S
Don't
on-
change. Just leave them there. It's-
S on the back of services.
Okay. Makes it false next. All right, item 14, consideration of resolution number R 2024-3304, a resolution renewing an independent contractor agreement for tourism, social media marketing, and content creation with Christopher Jones. Sarah or Brittany? But Brittany's
You get
gone.
Sarah. She took off. And a relatively short title on this one, so
Yeah.
Relatively.
Good job.
thank you. As you guys know, we have contracted our social media for the last couple of years and have found success in the last year with this Christopher Jones. And he's done a great job for us as far as really adopting our Greater Zion voice and engaging with all those social media platforms and dealing with the good and the bad. And all of that has really been good about integrating with our team as well and carrying through content calendar pieces and everything like that. So we're excited that he's willing to work with us again. So in front of you, you have a agreement as well as the scope of work that is basically a repeat from previous years or the previous year that he's worked with us and really relatively routine in our world anyway.
I think he has done a good job, at least just watching the social media content that's being produced. It's good.
Thank you.
Seems like.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve Resolution R 2024-3304, renewing an independent contractor agreement for tourism, social media marketing, and content creation with Christopher Jones.
I'll second that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, Sarah. Item 15, consideration of resolution number R 2024-3305, a resolution approving an agreement between Washington County and Southern Utah University for cooperative efforts to collect data and monitor conditions of trails in the Red Cliffs Desert Reserve. Cameron.
Good afternoon. So as you guys might be aware, we've had a good relationship with SUU in regards to them monitoring the trails through their recreation monitoring program and then applying a different program to actually go in and restore and improve those trails within the reserve. This partnership goes back probably 10 years or more. They've had some turnover in staff and different things come up in the way that they operate, and they requested that we do an MOU, a Memorandum of Understanding, to continue this partnership. And so they put this together, had our attorneys review it. It's for the next 5 years. It outlines our responsibilities and providing them the projects and guidance on what areas of the reserve we want them to look at and to fix. And then their responsibilities to recruit the students to actually do the work and repair the trails. And then an annual budget that we'll revisit each year depending on the projects. And so for this year, the budget that they've requested is $3,000. That will come out of our HCP recreation management budget. We have $5,000 allocated for that, so it is fully covered. And we look forward to continuing our partnership with SUU.
Well, good. Well, anybody have any questions or comments for Cameron? If not, I will make a motion that we adopt Resolution R-2024-3305, a resolution approving an agreement between Washington County and Southern Utah University for cooperative efforts to collect data and monitor conditions of trails in the Red Cliffs Desert Reserve.
And I second the motion.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thanks, Cameron.
Thanks, Cameron.
Okay. Item 16, consideration of resolution number R 2024-3306, a resolution appointing a board member to Northwestern Special Service District, Mark Kane, the appointee, term ending December 31st, 2025.
I want to thank Mark for coming and attending our meeting. Let's see.
Yeah, I can speak to this. So, Mr. Kane, good to have you here. Appreciate you being here. Mark is a retired nurse practitioner. He also ran a rural ambulance service for a time, and he also has a background as a volunteer firefighter. So, a lot of experience that he can bring to the board, and we really appreciate him applying to be a board member. And so that's the recommendation before you, Commissioners.
Very good.
Well, that's great.
Mr. Chairman, I will second the motion that you just made, because you read that. If that's your motion.
As a motion, I did. It was short, so I could do.
Okay.
Motion and a second for Mark Haynes' term on the Northwestern Special Service District. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kane. It's an important one. There's been a lot of discussion up Highway 18 for a while, and you've got some good experience. We welcome your input and voice and providing this essential service up there. So thank you for
Welcome.
being willing to step up and do it.
Yep, welcome aboard.
Thank you for being willing to serve up there.
Item 17, consideration of resolution number R 2024-3307, a resolution approving an electric line easement that will serve the new Washington County Solid Waste District Administration Building.
I'll speak to this one too, Commissioners. This is an easement that was forwarded to us by Dixie Power. They are ready and willing to serve this property. They would like an easement before they construct electrical infrastructure there. So this easement would allow them to build that infrastructure to serve that new building.
Yeah, pretty straightforward. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion we adopt resolution R-2024 -3307, a resolution approving an electrical line easement to serve the new solid waste administrative building.
And I'll second that motion.
All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Item 18, consideration of resolution number R 2024-3308, a resolution approving a memorandum of understanding with United We Pledge regarding the county's continued support for Liberty Week, Constitution Month, and Bill of Rights Month. Devin.
I'm happy to speak to this one as well, Commissioners. So United We Pledge, and actually representatives are here, they're seeking grant funding, and as part of that process, they've been asked to develop an MOU, or Memorandum of Understanding, with the county to show a collaboration between United We Pledge and the county, and show the partnership in those events that are listed in the MOU: Liberty Week, Constitution Month, and Bill of Rights Month. So this MOU talks about how the county will collaborate with United We Pledge on those events. And it might be appropriate, I see that Dennis Levitt is here, it might be appropriate to invite him to say something.
Come on up.
It was a full room earlier, but
Yeah, we're not sure what happened to
The
all of our
last leaf
people,
on
but
the
they're not
tree.
here anymore.
It's so much nicer to talk to an unfull room. It makes your heart not beat quite as fast. We just want to continue those great events that are going on. We feel strongly about them. We appreciate our partnership with you in every way, and just want to utilize what resources we can to enhance those. You know that last year at Liberty Week alone, we had tens of thousands of visitors and guests. We expect the same thing to happen. We want to just be good for the county and good for kids. As an update, the Liberty Bus was in 3 schools last week. We've got all of the schools coming on board. The school district agreed to support the Give Me Liberty program. So all things on the civics and historical and history education in Washington County are on the rise, and we just want to continue this partnership.
Great.
Mr. Chairman, I think this is a wonderful thing. I've been through the bus. We've all been involved with Liberty Village and United We Pledge, and the great work that they do is trying to support the Constitution and the foundational documents of this amazing country and this wonderful experiment that we call here in America.
Yeah.
And just, I'm so glad for the little role that we get to play in trying to use this platform to advance the civics education, especially with the kids who aren't getting it elsewhere as much as they should. And so I wholeheartedly support this.
Yeah, it's great. And I'll second your motion there.
Yeah, that was my motion to approve this memorandum.
I look forward to, it's going to be an awesome Liberty Week this year. We have some great concerts, and Janelle's down there looking quite rested and calm compared to a year ago.
What she will look like on July 5th,
She
that's
was
right.
getting ready to put on, the exhibit here in the county building. That was a lot of fun. Looking back on it, it was a lot of fun.
Great event.
At the time, it was a lot of stress for everybody involved, but it was a lot of fun, so it's gonna be good.
Super. Well, I heard a motion and I heard a second. So all in favor of item number 18, which was resolution R 2024-3308, say aye.
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 Thank you.
Passes. Wonderful.
Well, don't go
Thank you.
anywhere, Dennis, we have another one coming up here.
Item number 19,
As long as we're
consideration.
just talking casual, also note that we are so close on this signature. So there's a Zoom meeting that just started with a Hurricane resident that will help us finalize it, everything we need to do to get a notice to proceed, so.
Well,
Excellent.
if you want, you can go ahead and jump on that meeting and we'll just pass this next resolution without you.
Can I just check in? Okay.
You're welcome to.
Yeah.
Okay. Consideration of resolution number R 2024-3309, a resolution creating a planning board for Washington County's America 250 celebration.
I can speak to this and then we can all chime in. Mr. Chairman, obviously, in the next year, in 2026, not next year, but the year after, will be America's 250th birthday. It'll be the 250th signing of the Declaration of Independence. And for some time, there's been a national board established, commission, I believe, where they've been coordinating with the different states to put on this celebration. And some states are doing a fantastic job. Other states are doing not a fantastic job. Utah's doing a great job. And we have a state commission and board for America 250 set up. And as we're getting ready to plan with all of our cities and partners on this, the state committee wanted to have local government involved so that it would be easy for them to coordinate some of the things that they were doing. And also, us as commissioners want to make sure that we're able to kind of bring together all of the different partners in our community to just really celebrate America. And as we get into next year, it's going to be a series of celebrations of the 250th anniversary of events that led up to the signing of the Declaration of Independence. And so what this resolution that we have before us is just us putting in writing our intent to establish a board that we can bring our communities together, our nonprofits, our others, and so that we can get planning on America's 250th birthday party that we're going to celebrate here in Washington County. So.
Great.
Mr. Chairman, I'll chime in as well. I wish this room was packed, but more so I wish it was packed with the 200,000 residents of Washington County so that they knew that, as Commissioner Iverson just said, where other cities, other counties, other states are wondering, well, as we've heard about this, should we really, is America worth celebrating? I think it's the most asinine comment in the world. But, and for all the reasons that we've already talked about when we declared, Washington County is America's county and the things that we've done, so we don't need to reiterate those at this time, but of course this is worth celebrating. And the state of Utah may do it well, but we're not going to rely on the Wasatch Front and their party. We are going to have a party for 365 days in Washington County. And so I hope the media reports that. I hope that everybody gets to hear that whether it's in schools and reports and trips and parades and concerts and all of the other things that we want this board to focus on, and that we're going to need some help on. The three of us are not party planners. We can't just plan this ourselves. But that we are going to celebrate America's 250th birthday, and we are going to celebrate it big in a way that the rest of the state and the region goes, man, they know how to party in Washington County for a patriotic celebration like this. And I really look forward to this, and we don't have much time. So this is, whoever gets to serve on this board, and it will be a privilege because this is going to be a lot of fun, is also going to work because this is going to be a lot to put on.
Well, I was a senior in high school in 1976 at the 200-year anniversary, and I thought that was a huge deal. I was in student government there, and we took that on. And in a big way, we almost painted the school red, white, and blue, and yet we thought, no, the principal's already going to make us, clean it off. But we thought, how long would it last? And we really wanted to do that, but having said that, we celebrated in a lot of different ways, and it was wonderful. So It dates me, but I'm glad to be alive for this yet another milestone in our nation's history. So with that, I could entertain a motion with item number 19.
I move that we approve Resolution R 2024-3309, creating a planning board for Washington County's America 250 celebration.
I'll second that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Dennis, you're back, and you've heard what we just did, and we would hope that in partnership for the many things you do, that we'll be able to see kind of blend with your plans.
There's a couple of things. I'm not sure when the committee can be formally organized. We have a meeting scheduled. Senator Mike Lee is coming to town on Monday to help with the plans from a national perspective. If we're really serious about making it a big party, he's willing to help and assist, and is going to be here from 8 a.m. to noon on Monday to help in the planning. We also have a commitment from a local business to do a national ad campaign and spend the money, which is millions of dollars worth of investment, in order to promote Washington County during this sort of thing. So there's a lot moving fast on our end. We're just happy to help, and whatever we can do to keep the ball moving in a quick pace, we'd love to.
So I'm going to defer a little bit to Devin, but it's my understanding, so we passed a resolution just barely saying what we were going to do and basically outlining the general scope, and so now we might need to even schedule a quick work meeting where we pull together different parties and we decide kind of who we're going to put on there, and then get it all formalized.
Yeah, we don't want to make you run faster than is comfortable in any way, but we are wanting to move quickly because it feels like the clock's ticking. For us, April 19th, 2025 is the 250th anniversary of the day the shot was heard around the world. So between now and April 19th, that seems like the real heavy planning time, and then that celebration for a year could go from April 19th, 2025 clear to July 4th, 2026, with every other 250th event that happened from the day the shot was heard around the world until they celebrated the 250th of the Boston Tea Party in Boston in December. And so the nation, or some parts of the nation, are starting to say, hold on, we're missing some critical events as part of this. And there is a state commission as well, you're all aware.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we appreciate your help and spearheading a lot of good things, including the groundbreaking that you've had in Hurricane. At least you started that portion. Sounds like tonight there's yet another step to go, and it's sounding positive.
Yep, good. So thanks for your help.
Thank
We really
you.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
We'll do anything that we'll follow your lead and directions.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you both. Thanks to your whole organization. Item 20, consideration of resolution R 2024-3310, a resolution of support for an application by the Shivwitz Band of Paiutes for a trust land acquisition in Washington County. Devin.
Yes, Commissioners, as you know, our county has a great relationship with the Shivwitz Band of Paiutes, and the band recently acquired some parcels over in Hurricane City near the Walmart. Shivwitz would like to apply to the federal government to have those parcels moved into trust. And if that's approved, that trust land has special legal status, so it has certain protections, but also limitations. Those parcels could be used by the tribe for economic development, for their administrative offices, for the tribe. By moving those parcels into trust, it would promote economic development and self-sufficiency for the tribe, or for the Shivwitz. The ultimate decision, so the process is a federal process, so it's an application that would go to the federal government. So it's out of the county's hand. But a resolution and a letter of support would help the Shivwitz in that process. And so that's what you're being asked to do today, is adopt that resolution and sign a letter of support for that application.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we support this. The Shivwitz Band is a integral part of the community. They've been good partners in many things. We deal with them very closely on, from water to so many different issues that we have to deal with, and we deal with partnerships. That's how we get anything done here in Washington County, and so we appreciate the partnership with the Shivwitz Band of Paiutes, and And this is a good thing for them for the reasons that Devin just stated. And it's a good thing for the community, and so I think we should support this in partnership with them and in their application with the Bureau of Indian Affairs.
I'll second that motion, Mr. Chairman. And I think we're very fortunate in Washington County to have such a good relationship with our local tribe, our sovereign tribe, and working with them. And I think we're unique. I had an opportunity to deal with Native American affairs when I worked for Senator Mike Lee, and there's other communities in the state that have conflict, and here we just have such a great relationship. I think it goes back historically that we've always kind of worked together. You know, they are us, and we kind of are them in some ways. And so this is a good thing that will help them achieve more economic self-sufficiency, and they've been very good to meet with us and talk to us about their goals and aspirations, and I think we should support this. So.
Wonderful. Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Very good. That reaches the end of our regular agenda. These meetings are rebroadcast daily on TDS cable channels 22 and 108 HD at 10 a.m., 2 p.m., and 5:30 p.m. They are also available on demand at youtube.com/community education channel. Thank you for all who have attended. See you next time.